so far, far away, and could not go home anymore.
Lovely, thank you.
My name's Caroline Horton. I'm a theatre maker based in the Midlands in Birmingham. This podcast is about home and homesickness, so it's called Waiting to Come Home. I suppose I was interested in the sort of difference between what's a reasonable level of homesickness and the point where it becomes really destructive. And I was kind of interested in what function that has, like why do we miss stuff like home or the people we love on a really basic sort of biological level. What's that doing?
I am Jennifer, and I'm passionate about trauma and the way that it affects our memory, and specifically why we over-remember the things we want to forget. And I guess it kind of tangentially relates to homesickness, in that if someone is really homesick, they'll be overthinking it rather than getting absorbed and getting over it.
Talking to her and bouncing ideas off her focused my attention more closely around ideas of home and homesickness, rather than a general, what is it like to miss something or someone. And it arose during that conversation that I had a very personal interest in it, in that I'd been really anxious as a kid going to school. So we started sort of focusing in on that experience, and then Jennifer introduced me to the idea of separation anxiety disorder.
And we covered all areas of psychology, including areas that I hadn't thought of since my undergraduate years, like attachment theory and how attached we are to our parents. So it was really fascinating, and because she's not in academia, and I don't think her background is psychology, it was so cool to have the different questions that she asked me, because I guess, once you progress in academia, you get so focused and possibly a little bit narrow, and so it was a really good opportunity to think outside the box and about quite a broad issue too.
I think whatever came from it felt like she quite brilliantly sort of picked up on stuff and asked me questions to draw more things out of me, really.
What was great about working with Caroline on this project was she had a really refreshing approach to thinking about a psychological concept. She came at the project and the concept of homesickness with really a broad vision, and I think she did such a beautiful job in her piece of having quite specific memory cues right at the beginning of the piece that we can all relate to and immediately make us think of home. I think one of them is the smell of toast, and I thought she did such a great job just coming up with those specific cues that would all take us back to our childhood and to our homes.
I guess listeners might from it reflect on how they feel about home, how as kids they felt about home. It's quite personal, it's quite idiosyncratic, but then home is such a universal thing that we all have different ideas about, that I'm pretty sure they'll find something in it for them.